Hello, this is Mrs. Vrobel. I'm recording this video for the beginning of chemistry school year 2014 to 2015. And the reason why I want to show you this video is I want to discuss with you the flipped classroom. Now, before I actually talked about the flipped classroom, I want to talk about my background. I've been married for 21 years happily. My husband and I, we actually were originally from the Cleveland area, but we've since moved down to the Akron area because of work. I am a mother of three children. I have two boys and one girl. They keep me very busy, especially in the summertime, because there's a lot of activities that we enjoy doing. Now, some of those activities are running, swimming, kayaking, and paddleboarding. And if you can guess in the left-hand corner of the screen here, you'll have to decide which of those four activities am I doing over there. I also love baking. And if you notice in the picture on the right, that's one of my creations. It's a breakfast pizza that actually I made over the summer. And as you get to know me a little bit more, you'll find that there's certain dishes or preparations that I enjoy making, and that obviously is one of them. I'm also a analytical chemist. I have worked in industry, so if you're ever curious about what it's like to actually do chemistry outside of the classroom, feel free to ask me. I have some really interesting stories that I can share with you eventually. Okay, so here's the deal. We want to talk about what to expect for chemistry. Now, this is going to be a little bit different than some of the classrooms that you're used to. Notice I have two bullets that are in black. Okay, those are probably the ones that you're most concerned with because I'm assuming the bullets in the blue, you're just going to take those as they come when you come to my classroom. Your homework is going to be video lectures. So when you get to your home, you're going to use either a desktop computer, a laptop, an iPad, or a smartphone to watch your video lectures. And notice also you're going to have review lectures. So I'm going to tape some other lectures that you're going to watch right before you take a test in class. Now notice that the blue bullets are all things that we do in class. So the first one is a video assessment. Yes, you are doing homework, watching videos, and just to ensure that you have done your homework, I am going to have you do a brief 5 to 10 question video assessment. What this means is hopefully you listened and watched and took notes with that video, and this assessment should tell me whether or not you did those things. Plus, it helps me to clear up any misconceptions that you might have from watching the video lectures. Notice that the third bullet, we're talking about demonstrations, problem solving, and experiments in class. So we've got a lot of different activities that we're going to do, and you're going to find that we're going to have a lot more freedom that you would not have in a typical classroom. And then lastly, we'll have some practice quizzes. So I'll give you an opportunity to try out some of your knowledge before you actually take the real quiz. And notice that you do take tests in class. So we haven't moved towards electronic testing yet, but don't worry, that'll be in your future eventually. Okay, why am I doing this? Well, the primary reason is you. I want this class to be for you. I've already got my degree. I have a master's in chemistry, so I have some really good background in chemistry. But I want you to figure out what you need in order to understand chemistry. This is going to be very efficient. You're going to find that with your other classes, it may seem like you don't have to work as hard. And the reason why is you're getting a personalized education. So when you come to class after watching the video lectures, you're already going to know what parts you're not sure about. So that, before you even take a quiz or a test, you're going to figure out what you need to know in order to do well on those tests and quizzes. And then lastly, we're going to have a lot more time to problem solve. Instead of you going home and trying to do a worksheet on your own, you can do it in class and your classmates are going to help you. In addition to that, you can stop and ask me questions because you're confused about something. So it's going to be an amazing experience for you. Okay, now with homework, this is something that's really important. So you have to think about what type of environment are you working in when you do your homework. You have to remove all distractions. So that means no TV. You probably should not be listening to any music, okay? Because you need to hear what I am trying to explain to you, okay? You should not have your smartphone on your lap while you're watching the video on a desktop or a laptop computer, okay? You should only have one device, and the one device is where you are watching the video lecture. Now, you also have to take notes. Now, you might ask yourself, but it's already on the video. I don't need to take notes. But guess what? Sometimes writing things down actually helps you to remember more, okay? Some people like to type their notes, and that's fine, but they've actually done studies and found that people that write by hand, they actually remember more. So I would seriously consider making sure you have a notebook and that you do take notes. And you probably want to bring those notes to class because when you're doing problems, you want to look at those notes to know what you're doing next. Now, with the video, don't be surprised if you may have to pause and rewind. Because guess what? Some of the questions that are going to be on the video assessment are going to be spoken word. They're not even on the screen, okay? So I need you to hear me very clearly, and if for some reason you weren't listening, you might want to stop, rewind, and re-listen because guess what? That may be on the video assessment, okay? Lastly, you're going to Google any very simple questions, okay? Because I'm putting the responsibility on you to hopefully understand and comprehend what the new chemistry concept is in that video. Now, if there's a higher level question, you can bring that to class. But if it's a real easy question, you probably should just search on the internet and figure it out. And then if you're still not sure, you can bring it to class. All right, when you get to class, what do? Well, you need a device because that device is going to let you take the video assessment. We're not doing paper and pencil. After the video assessment, you have a number of things that might happen. First one will be small group bookwork. So instead of the homework worksheets that you get typically from a normal classroom, you'll be assigned problems and you will find a group of people that you work really well with, and you're going to work on those problems together. So you're going to discuss what you learned in the video lecture while you're working on those work problems. I may have a demonstration that helps you to understand the chemistry concept that you just learned the night before. So don't be surprised if we have demonstrations that help to illustrate what you're learning. We're also going to have laboratory experiments. So when you come to class, you may be going directly into a laboratory experiment. Now, the nice thing with the flipped classroom is that the good news is you're going to analyze the data in class in your small groups, and you can ask me questions about the experiment before you actually conclude your experiment and turn it in. So with a flipped classroom, you would normally do this on your own, but the good news is with the flipped classroom, I'm allowing you an opportunity to discuss with your peers and also to ask me questions about the experiment before you turn the experiment results in. And then lastly, we will also have the opportunity to do practice quizzes before the actual quiz. So you can try out your knowledge and see how well you think you can do with some of the problems that I'm going to give you. Lastly, your question might be to me, how do I become successful in chemistry? Well, these are some guidelines. First is you have to do each video assignment. If you think this is an option, it's going to come back to haunt you. So you need to watch every video assignment that I give you. Okay, it's very important. If you want to be successful in chemistry, you need to make sure that you participate fully in group discussions. No longer are you sitting back and just waiting for things to happen. You have to start thinking about, well, what am I supposed to do with this information? Okay, and in small groups, you're going to find that there's a lot of people that can help you work out these problems and solve what you need to solve. Also, in the chemistry classroom, you need to decide what kind of questions you should be asking. These could be questions to a classmate. These could be questions to me. But when you are watching these videos at home, you need to start thinking about what kind of questions do you have about these chemistry concepts that you're learning. And when you bring those to class, you're going to find that you're going to be more successful when you ask those questions. And then lastly, this is the really tough one because nobody likes to do this. It's important to make mistakes in class. Now, why do I say this? Well, if you make mistakes in class, you're going to find you're going to learn more deeply and you're going to understand more fully what's going on with the chemistry concepts you're learning. That way, if you make mistakes in class, you're going to find out that there's somebody else that maybe understands it a little bit better than you, and they can help you. Or I can help you if I see that you're struggling with a certain concept. I can make your life a lot easier by doing that.